What's up, guys? It's your boy Milano Miguel, back at it again with another video. Today's episode 29 of season 2 of the AC Milan vlog series. So here we go. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the Serie A. Football has resumed again after the international break. During the international break, Zlatan Ibrahimovic did come out of retirement for Sweden. Hakan Çalhanoğlu had some impressive performances for Turkey, grabbing an assist in every game and 2 goals. Benacer expressed his eagerness to win with Milan. I think Frank Kessie had an average international break, but for the most part that was pretty good. Tonali did get a red card in Euro under 21s, which was kind of sad, but that was pretty much a recap of the international break. Italy did well, Donnarumma having 3 clean sheets as well. Coming back from the international break, it'll be Milan taking on Sampdoria. Now, Milan has not beaten Sampdoria twice in a season since 2015-16. Milan has not lost to Sampdoria in the last 7 meetings, with I believe 4 wins and 2 draws. So heading into this game, we're in the final stretch of the season. The last 10 games, very important to getting top 4. I don't think the Scudetto is something realistic because Inter has quite the lead, but anything can happen. It's Serie A. Starting lineup was a bit weird. We had Donnarumma, Salmakers playing right back, Kier Tomori, Theo Hernandez, Benacer and Kessie in a double pivot, Samu Castillejo, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Rade Krunic over Ante Rebic, who had his 2-match suspension overruled to a 1-match suspension, so he was available for the game against Sampdoria. And then we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic leading the line. Let's get straight into it. First half was absolutely poor. We got dominated for the first 7 minutes, creating opportunities, pressuring us. Donnarumma making a save in the 5th minute from Manolo Gabbiadini. I don't know what to say. Milan just came out this one not looking good. It wasn't a good start. The first half was pretty poor. We only had 4 shots, none on target. We had a lot of possession, but that was really nothing. A lot of the passes were poor passes. We looked lackluster. We looked unmotivated, sluggish, tired. I don't know if it's because it was the early game, and some people may say it's because of the international break, but half of the players didn't even, serve in the international break, so that's not really an excuse in my opinion. Bad passes, bad dribbles, Salmakers being played out of position, clearly not a right back. That was not something you should have done. And I don't know why Krunic got the nod over Rebic. Second half wasn't the best either, but it was better than the first half. After halftime, Pioli decided to take off Alexis Salmakers and put in Pierre Kalulu. Don't know why you didn't start Kalulu from the start, but hey, things happen. Pioli likes to do his little experiments. This was a failed one. Never do that again. I mean, from my takeaways in the first half, the only good players were Gigio Donnarumma, Fikayo Tomori, and Simon Kier. They were pretty much saving Milan with all the attacks that Sampdoria created. They were the only ones clearing their lines and trying to clear the ball out of Milan's half of the pitch. A lot of ball watching, a lot of standing around, not much, we weren't fighting aggressively for the 50-50s, and it was just a poor performance. Milan ended up making a huge mistake from Theo Hernandez, who decides to make a terrible, lazy back pass. Fabio Quagliarella manages to cut out the pass, chips Gigio Donnarumma. There's nothing that Gigio could do. That goal was 100% on Theo Hernandez for us conceding. That is a poor goal to give away against Sampdoria. And ultimately cost us the game because of a very poor decision that he decided to make. That was such a poor pass. I don't know what he was thinking, what was going through his mind. And kind of after Sampdoria scored that goal, it seemed like the morale just completely depleted on this team. It seems like we had given up. Our body language was terrible. For Theo Hernandez, I just gotta say, for someone who is deemed as one of the best left backs in the world, it's unacceptable. And his body language after conceding that goal, he looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked unmotivated and uninterested. I will say he did create some opportunities where, you know, he has those 60-yard runs, but he tends to be selfish and tries to score the goal for himself. He had a run where he made it to about the 18-yard box and got fouled instead of passing the ball to Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who was wide open on a 3-on-1. Very selfish, very stupid. That could have ended up in a goal, and maybe we wouldn't have been chasing the game as late as we did. We did see Sandro Tonali and Ante Rebic come off the bench to replace Ismail Benacer and Rade Krunic. I think Benacer had an average game. He didn't look as good as he did against Fiorentina. Had some nice dribbles to get him out of some dangerous situations, but his passing wasn't the best, as was the passing of the rest of the team. Krunic was just not really nowhere to be seen. I think putting on Rebic may have changed the game a little bit, but didn't really have a huge effect. I think Tonali had a decent performance. Haug come off the bench later on towards the end of the game. He manages to grab a goal in the 87th minute for Milan to get 1-1. And then in the 93rd minute, Franck Kessié takes a shot, gets deflected, hits off the post, and the game ends 1-1. I can't say much for Gigio Donnarumma. He had some good saves. The goal that he conceded wasn't his fault. Saelemaekers, not a right back. He was caught out of position multiple times in that first half. Play him in his regular winger position. Tamori and Kjaer, probably arguably the best players on the pitch. Really did a lot, were solid defensively, and in my opinion, if Sampdoria was a more lethal side or a better side, we probably would have conceded had it not been for the defensive efforts of these two. Theo Hernandez, we kind of already touched upon that. He needs to bounce back from this. His performances in 2021 have not been the best, and they're not really in his favor. He needs to turn it around. I don't know what it is, but he needs to turn it around. Kessié was kind of absent today. I think he had one of his average performances. He wasn't as dominant as he was in midfield normally. Samu Castillejo, that guy can't see the pitch anymore. I don't know. Either we have to stop him this summer or he just needs to stop playing. Like, I give him credit because of his work rate and he runs a lot, but his decision making in the final third is just absolutely horrendous for someone who's supposed to be a forward or a winger. It's just not working out. He's not the type of quality that we need for Champions League football, if we even get Champions League football at the end of the season. We need a world-class winger. We need to bring in Tovan or somebody who can help create and be more dynamic. Hakan Çalhanoğlu had a great international break, and hoping that that momentum and that confidence would have carried on to the game today. It didn't. He was also absent, didn't provide much service. Had one nice shot towards the end of the second half that almost caught Alderweireld, and Theo Hernandez was kind of lazy, didn't really get to the rebound, could have had a tap in. Other than that, he was quite absent. He's not going to get that contract renewal with these performances. If you can't perform against average, mid-table teams, and you're not performing against the top 4, top 8 teams, what makes you think you're going to get that contract renewal that you seek so desperately? Ante Rebic, pretty average. Zlatan Ibrahimovic having to come in deeper to play a playmaking role instead of being a striker. I do think that the international break kind of took a little bit of a toll on him. He should have been resting instead of been playing for Sweden, but credits to him, 39 years old, he wants to play in the Euro, so I understand that. Those are really my takeaways. This isn't enough. If we want to make top 4, this isn't enough. We got to do better. This might be a result that might come back to haunt us. We have Parma, Genoa, Sassuolo, and Lazio before we have the big games, which is Atalanta, Juve, we need as many points as we can. This top 4 race is going to go down to the end of the wire. Forget about the Scudetto. It's not happening, in my opinion, unless Inter decides to bottle it, which I don't think they will. They might slip up here and there, but I don't think they're going to bottle it. Overall, poor performance from the entire team. I'm not blaming Pioli for this loss. It's a collective effort. Yes, he could have started Rebic and Kalulu. Did he do that? No, which may have put us at a disadvantage, but at the end of the day, at halftime, we were still 0-0, and he made the change at halftime to put in Kalulu, so you can't really blame him for that. You can blame Theo Hernandez for the poor pass that gifted away a goal and made us chase the game, but you can also blame the players for not showing up and not having, that fight that we saw in the first half of the season. So overall, it was a draw. It felt like a loss. We need to do better, and hopefully we get a better performance from the team and we get as many points as we can, because top 4 is essential. If we don't get top 4, it's not going to look good for us. But that's really all I have for you guys. Forza Milan and peace.